Before you hit subscribe, I need you to understand something. What I'm about to tell you isn't public record. It can't be found in any federal database, any military archive, any FOIA request. Operation Black Timber was erased. Deliberately. Completely. And after you hear what happened in those woods, you'll understand why some missions are better off forgotten. My name is Evan Mercer. In October 2002, I was a senior operative with a federal task force that officially doesn't exist. We handled situations too sensitive for standard agencies, too complicated for clean resolutions, the kind of work where your family is told you died in a training accident if things go wrong. Black Timber came down as a priority assignment. 12 hours notice, minimal briefing, 6-person team, myself included. The cover story was simple. Investigate illegal logging operations and potential eco-terrorist activity in the Cascade-Siskiyou region of southern Oregon. Remote territory, mostly wilderness, low population density. But there were details in that briefing that didn't fit the cover story. Section Chief Harlow ran the pre-deployment. He stood at the front of the briefing room, overhead projector casting shadows across his face. The room smelled like stale coffee and recycled air. "You're going dark," he said. No preamble. 72 hours. Radio silence except scheduled check-ins. Local law enforcement has been told to stay clear of your operational zone. I leaned forward. For illegal logging? Harlow's jaw tightened. There have been disappearances. 16 people in 8 months. Hikers. Forest Service personnel. 2 journalists who were covering the logging controversy. My team exchanged glances. Sarah Chen, our tech specialist, frowned. "That's not in the file." "Because it's not your primary objective," Harlow replied. "Your job is to locate and assess a site of interest. Grid coordinates will be provided on insertion. Rules of engagement are defensive, only unless otherwise directed." Site of interest? Marcus Webb, our demolitions expert, scratched his beard. "That's vague." Harlow clicked to the next slide. Satellite imagery, dense forest canopy, a clearing marked with a red circle. "This area shows thermal and electromagnetic anomalies inconsistent with natural terrain. 2 previous reconnaissance teams were sent in. Neither reported anything conclusive before communications ceased." The room went cold. "Ceased?" I asked. "Equipment failure," Harlow said. "Too quickly. You'll have upgraded comm systems, redundant backups. You leave at 400. We flew into a small regional airport, 30 miles from the operational zone. 2 vehicles waiting. Standard gear plus some additions I hadn't requested. Radiation detectors, atmospheric samplers, something that looked like a handheld seismograph. "Anyone else think this doesn't smell right?" Garcia, our medic, muttered as we loaded equipment. "Nothing we do smells right," said Reeves, our tracker. He was ex-Army Ranger, quiet, efficient. He checked his rifle with practiced ease. Just do the job. The drive took 3 hours on deteriorating roads. Paved turned to gravel, turned to dirt. The forest grew denser, darker. By the time we reached the staging point, the canopy was so thick that noon looked like twilight. We parked the vehicles in a concealed position and moved on foot. Standard patrol formation. Reeves on point. Me and Chen in the middle. Webb and Garcia covering our 6. Thompson, our communications officer, stayed close to me, monitoring frequencies. The silence hit me first. Not peaceful quiet. Absence. No bird song, no insects, no wind through the trees. Just our footsteps crunching on decades of dead pine needles. "Anyone else notice we haven't seen any wildlife?" Garcia whispered. "Logging operations scare off animals," Webb offered. But his tone said he didn't believe it. 3 hours in, Reeves raised his fist. We froze. He pointed ahead. Through the trees I could see them. Tents, 4 of them. Military style, but no markings. They looked recently used. Rain covers still tied down. No visible weathering. But no people, no sounds. No equipment visible outside. I signaled the team to fan out. We approached tactically, weapons raised. My heart hammered against my ribs. The air smelled wrong, metallic, like copper and ozone. The first tent was empty. Sleeping bags laid out, but not slept in. MRE wrappers on the ground, dates stamped 6 weeks prior. Fresh supplies, Chen noted. They left recently. The second tent had equipment, laptops, radio gear, all powered down. Chen crouched, examining a laptop. Government issue, but the serial numbers are filed off. Who files off serial numbers on federal equipment? Garcia asked. Nobody answered. The third tent made my skin crawl. It was larger, set up like a field lab. Tables with instruments I recognized, spectrometers, sample containers, analysis equipment, but also things I didn't recognize. Devices with readouts in languages that weren't English, symbols that looked almost organic, and in the center of the tent, bolted to a table, was a recorder, reel-to-reel, old technology, analog. The tape was still loaded. "Should we play it?" Thompson asked. I reached for the play button. The reels spun. Magnetic tape hissed. Then a voice, calm, clinical, male. Day 47. Site remains acoustically active. Subjects continue to respond to frequency modulation in the 12 or 18 Hz range. Behavioral patterns suggest coordinated intelligence, though no individual specimens have been successfully isolated. Recommendation: increase sonic barriers before attempting extraction protocols. The tape continued. Note: personnel are advised to maintain minimum safe distance of 50 meters from aperture threshold. Dr. Kessler violated protocol this morning. He claims he heard his daughter calling from inside. His daughter died in 1987. The tape cut out. Static. Then breathing. Heavy. Wet. Then a sound I'll never forget. It started low. A hum that vibrated in my chest. Then rose in pitch until it felt like my teeth were vibrating. And beneath it, layered, were voices. Hundreds of them. Whispering the same words over and over, but I couldn't make them out. Chen ripped the plug from the recorder. Silence. Crashed back. What the hell was that? Garcia's voice shook. I looked at the equipment around us. The filed-off serial numbers. The abandoned camp. The tape. "We need to reach those coordinates," I said. "Now." We left the tents behind. The forest felt like it was watching. Every shadow seemed to move. Every snap of a twig made us turn, weapons up. Hearts racing. Reeves checked his GPS. 2 clicks northwest. We moved faster now. The temperature dropped. Our breath misted. In October, in Oregon. It shouldn't be this cold. That's when I saw the trees. They were wrong. Not sick or dying. Wrong. Their bark had a texture like scar tissue. Deep grooves carved into the trunks in patterns too regular to be natural. Spirals, concentric circles, and in the center of some trees, perfectly circular holes, maybe 8 inches in diameter, drilled straight through. "Mercer." Reeves's voice was tight. He was looking at the ground. Tracks. Dozens of them. Footprints. Human. Barefoot. Leading deeper into the forest. But the pattern was off. The gait was too wide. The toe impressions were too long. And they were all walking in perfect parallel lines, like soldiers marching in formation. "They're fresh," Reeves said. "Maybe hours old." Sarah Chen knelt, pulling out her atmospheric sampler. She took readings, watching the display. Her face went pale. "Particulate count is off the charts. Biological material in the air. Spores, maybe. But the molecular structure. She looked up at me. It's not anything in my database. We wearing masks for this? Webb asked. Too late now, Garcia muttered. We've been breathing it for hours. The GPS beeped. We were close. Another kilometer. The terrain started sloping downward. The trees grew even denser here. The canopy so thick that we needed flashlights, even though it was only mid-afternoon. Then the ground changed. Concrete. Cracked and overgrown, but definitely man-made. A path. We followed it down. The air grew colder. That metallic smell intensified, and beneath it, something organic, rot, but not decay. Something alive that smelled like death. The path led to a clearing, and in the center of that clearing was a structure. It wasn't a building, not exactly. More like something had been built, then deliberately buried, then partially excavated. Concrete walls emerging from the earth at odd angles, rebar jutting out like broken bones, and at ground level, a massive steel door, blast-rated, the kind they use for bunkers, for places you seal and never open again. The door was ajar, 3 feet open, darkness beyond. Around the entrance, someone had spray-painted warnings. Recent paint, bright orange. Do not enter. Contaminated. Authorized personnel only. And one more, in different handwriting. Shakier. It hers you. Check for power, I ordered. Thompson pulled out his scanner. Nothing. No electrical signatures, no radio signals. Whatever this place was, it's been dead for years. But as he said it, I heard something. Faint. Coming from inside. That same low hum from the tape. Barely audible. Felt more than heard. You hear that? Garcia asked. We all did. Standard Bratch protocol, I said. Reeves, Webb, you're on point. Chen, Thompson, you're with me. Garcia, watch our exit. Why do I get the feeling this is a terrible idea? Garcia asked. But he took position by the door. We clicked on weapon-mounted lights, white beams cutting through the darkness. The door groaned as we pushed it wider, metal scraping against concrete. The sound echoed inside. Deep, cavernous. The interior was a corridor, concrete walls, institutional, Cold War architecture, lights hanging from the ceiling, long dead. Our footsteps echoed. Water dripped somewhere ahead. The temperature was at least 20 degrees colder than outside. The walls were marked, stenciled lettering. Sector B7, authorized access only. Biocontainment protocol in effect. Biocontainment, Chen whispered. What were they doing here? We passed doorways, offices, labs, all ransacked, papers scattered, equipment overturned, but no bodies, no blood, just signs of panicked evacuation. A chair knocked over, a coffee mug still on a desk, contents long evaporated. Then we found the first recording station, a small room with windows looking into a larger chamber. Inside, recording equipment, reel-to-reel players, oscilloscopes, and speakers, massive ones, industrial grade, pointed down into the larger chamber. Chen examined the equipment. This is acoustic research gear. High-precision frequency generators. They were broadcasting something. Or listening, Thompson added. He pointed to microphones mounted in the ceiling of the larger chamber, directional arrays for capturing specific sound sources. I moved to the window. The larger chamber was vast, easily 100 feet across, amphitheater-style seating descending toward a central floor. But the floor itself was wrong. It wasn't concrete. It was organic, dark, covered in a substance that looked like moss but moved. Slow, rhythmic, pulsing, like breathing. And in the center of that floor was an opening, circular, maybe 10 feet wide, a hole descending into darkness so absolute that our lights couldn't penetrate it. That's the aperture, I said. remembering the tape. Whatever they were studying, it came from down there. The humming grew louder. My vision swam. For just a second, I could swear I saw shapes moving in the amphitheater. Silhouettes, dozens of them, standing in the seating rows, watching. But when I blinked, they were gone. "We need to document this," Chen said. She started taking photos. Her camera flash strobed the room. Each flash revealed more details, scratches on the walls, long gouges, like fingernails, thousands of them. "They were trying to get out," Webb said quietly. "Or keep something in," Reeves countered. A sound echoed from deeper in the facility, metal scraping, rhythmic, deliberate. We froze, weapons up, lights pointed at the corridor leading further into the complex. "Contact," Webb whispered. The scraping stopped. Silence. Then a voice, distant, female, singing. "Hush, little baby, don't say a word." My blood turned to ice. That was Chen's voice. But Chen was standing right next to me, eyes wide with terror, mouth closed. "Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird?" The voice came from everywhere, the walls, the ceiling, inside my head. "And if that mockingbird don't sing." Movement in the corridor, fast, low to the ground, something crawling. Our lights caught it for just a second. Pale, hairless, humanoid but wrong. Too many joints, arms bent at angles that shouldn't be possible. Then it was gone. Disappeared into a side passage. "Fall back," I ordered. "Now." We moved, fast but controlled, back through the corridor. The singing followed us, growing louder, overlapping, multiple voices now, all singing the same lullaby, all using voices from our team. Garcia's position came into view. He was still at the door, rifle raised, looking into the facility. "Did you find—" "Move," I shouted. We burst through the door. Daylight, the clearing. Garcia stumbled backward. "What happened?" "We're leaving," I said. "Back to the staging point. Radio for extraction." Thompson pulled out his comm unit, tried to raise base. Static. He adjusted frequencies. More static. "I'm not getting anything." "Keep trying." I looked back at the facility entrance. The door was closing, slowly, metal groaning. But nobody was pushing it. It was closing on its own, or something was pulling it closed from inside. We moved fast through the forest. No formation now, just running. The trees felt closer, the shadows deeper. That humming sound followed us, growing, fading, then growing again, like a pulse. "Still no signal," Thompson said. His voice cracked. "Nothing on any frequency. It's like something's jamming us. Or absorbing it," Chen added. She was breathing hard, checking her equipment while moving. "The spore count is increasing. Whatever's in the air, it's getting thicker." Reeves stopped suddenly, held up a fist. We halted, hearts hammering. He was staring at the ground. "What?" I asked. He pointed. The tracks, the barefoot prints. They were all around us now, hundreds of them, fresh, wet. And they weren't walking anymore. They were running, in circles, around our position, like we'd been surrounded. "They're hurting us," Reeves said. A twig snapped to our left. We spun. Lights up. Nothing. Just trees. But I could feel eyes on us. Watching. Waiting. 3 o'clock, Webb hissed. I turned. There. Maybe 30 yards out. Standing between 2 trees. A figure. Naked. Pale skin covered in dark streaks. It stood perfectly still. Head tilted at an unnatural angle. Staring directly at us. "Federal agents," I called out. My voice sounded weak, swallowed by the forest. "Identify yourself." The figure didn't move, didn't breathe. It just stood there, and slowly, its mouth opened, wide, wider than possible, jaw dislocating like a snake. That humming sound came out, loud, resonating. The trees vibrated, the ground beneath our feet trembled, and from that sound I could hear words, layered, overlapping. Turn back, turn back, turn back. My ears started bleeding, thin trickles of warmth down my neck. Chen dropped to her knees, hands over her ears. Garcia was screaming, but I couldn't hear him over the humming. Webb raised his rifle, fired, 3 rounds, center mass. The figure didn't react. The bullets hit. I saw impact, saw dark fluid spray. But it didn't fall. It didn't even flinch. It just closed its mouth. The humming stopped, and it tilted its head the other way, curious. Then it smiled. Too many teeth, all filed to points. Run, I said. Run. We scattered. No coordination, just pure survival instinct. I grabbed Chen, pulled her to her feet, pushed her forward. Behind us I heard Webb firing, full automatic. Then his screaming cut off abruptly. Webb, Garcia shouted. Don't stop, I yelled. The forest was wrong now. Trees that were 40 feet apart, suddenly only 10 feet. Paths that led uphill now led down. My compass was spinning. North kept changing. The sun, what little penetrated the canopy, was in 3 different positions at once. The space is distorted, Chen gasped. It's not following normal geometry. How is that possible? It's not. But it's happening. Thompson was still ahead. He'd found a rocky outcropping, high ground. We scrambled up, defensive position, backs against stone. 5 of us now. Webb was gone. I could see the clearing below, the facility entrance, but it was wrong. There were 6 doors now, all identical, arranged in a circle, and standing around them, watching, were dozens of those figures, pale, motionless, all with their heads tilted at the same angle. What are they? Garcia asked. Test subjects, Chen said. She was looking at her atmospheric sampler. Her hands shook. The spores, they're not environmental. They're deliberately engineered. Fungal-based neurological parasites. They colonize the brain, override higher functions, create a hive consciousness. In English, Garcia said, those things down there aren't people anymore. They're something else. Something that uses human bodies as hosts, and those spores we've been breathing. She looked at us. We're infected too, just early stage. The words hung in the air, heavy, final. How long? I asked. Based on exposure and concentration, 36 hours, maybe less. Depends on individual immune response. There has to be a way to... There isn't. Chen's voice was flat. Dead. This is military-grade bioweapon research. They designed it to be irreversible. Once you're exposed, you're gone. It's just a matter of time. Thompson laughed, hollow, broken. So we're dead. We're already dead. Not yet, Reeves said. He was checking his ammunition, counting rounds. We have time. We can still get word out, warn others. With what? Thompson held up his comm unit. Nothing works. We're cut off. I looked at Chen. That facility. There has to be records, research data, something that explains what this is. If we can get that, document it. Maybe someone finds it eventually. You want to go back in there? Garcia asked. That's suicide. We're dead anyway, I said. Might as well make it count. They looked at me. 5 faces, exhausted, terrified, but still human, for now. I'm not ordering anyone, I continued. This is volunteer only, but I'm going back in. I'm finding those records, and I'm making sure someone, someday, knows what happened here. Silence. Then Reeves stood, chambered around. I'm in. Chen nodded. Someone needs to interpret the data. Garcia sighed, checked his medical kit. Can't let you idiots die alone. Thompson stared at his useless comm equipment, then stuffed it in his pack. Let's go make this count. We descended from the outcropping. The figures around the facility doors watched. Didn't move, just watched. Like they knew we were coming, like they were waiting. As we approached, I realized the doors weren't separate entrances. They were the same door, repeated, reflected, the aperture inside the facility. It wasn't just a hole, it was bending reality, creating echoes, overlaps. We chose the original door, the one that had been open. It was closed now, sealed, but not locked. I pushed. It swung open with a groan. The corridor beyond was different, longer. The lights were on now, flickering, fluorescent, casting everything in sickly green. And the walls were breathing. "Stay close," I said. "Don't touch anything. Don't listen to the voices." We entered. The door closed behind us, final, complete. And from deep within the facility, something laughed. The corridor pulsed, walls expanding and contracting like lungs. The floor was sticky. Each step made a wet, peeling sound. Chen's atmospheric sampler was screaming warnings. The spore concentration inside was 10 times what it had been outside. "We're accelerating the infection," she said. "Being in here is making it faster." "How much time?" I asked. "Hours, maybe 6, maybe less." We moved deeper. The facility was alive now, fully awake. The lights flickered in patterns. The humming was constant, resonating through metal and concrete, through our bones. Reeves found the first body, a researcher, still in his lab coat, slumped against the wall. His eyes were open, filmed over white. His mouth hung slack, but his chest was moving, breathing. "Is he alive?" Garcia moved closer. "Don't," I warned. Too late. Garcia knelt, checked for a pulse. The researcher's hand shot out, grabbed Garcia's wrist. The medic screamed, tried to pull away, but the grip was iron. The researcher's mouth moved. That humming sound came out, words hidden inside it. "Join us, join us, join us." Reeves stepped in, put his rifle barrel against the researcher's temple, fired. The body collapsed, but the humming didn't stop. It came from the walls now, echoing, repeating. "Join us, join us, join us." Garcia clutched his wrist. The skin where the researcher had grabbed him was already changing, turning gray, spreading up his arm like frost. "Cut it off," Garcia said, his voice steady, professional, going into shock. "Cut it off now. Garcia, now." There wasn't time to argue. Chen pulled out her field knife. I held Garcia down. Reeves made a tourniquet above the elbow. Chen positioned the blade. Garcia bit down on his belt. The knife went through. 3 cuts. Bone was harder. Garcia's screaming echoed through the corridor, mixed with the humming, became part of it. His arm came free. The gray spreading stopped at the tourniquet. Garcia passed out. Reeves caught him. "We need to move. He needs real medical attention." "There's no extraction coming," Thompson said. "We all know that." But we kept going, dragging Garcia between us, following the signs. "Research Division. Archive. Classified materials." We found it. A room. Vault door standing open. Inside, filing cabinets, computers, decades of research, papers pinned to walls, diagrams, anatomical drawings of human bodies undergoing transformation, stage by stage, breaking down, reforming, becoming something else. Chen went to the computers, started copying files. "There's terabytes here. Project Mockingbird. Started in 1967. Acoustic warfare research. They were trying to weaponize sound, create frequencies that could incapacitate, control, or kill enemy combatants." "They succeeded," I said, looking at the diagrams. "Too well," Chen continued. "They discovered something in the testing, a frequency that didn't just affect humans. It opened something. They called it the aperture, a resonance point in reality, and things came through." Things? They didn't have a name for them. The researchers just called them the chorus. Entities that exist in sound, that move through vibration. They're not physical, not really, but they can inhabit physical forms, colonize them, turn them into instruments. I read over her shoulder. Report after report, test subjects exposed, transformed, researchers trying to close the aperture, failing, the infection spreading, the entire facility becoming contaminated. They tried to bury it, I said. Seal it off. Pretend it never happened. But it's still here, Reeves said. Still active, still spreading. Thompson found something. A map. Geological surveys. The facility isn't just here. It's a network. Tunnels. Access shafts. Spreading through the entire mountain range. And look. He pointed to markers. Research stations. Dozens of them. All through Oregon, Washington, Northern California. They were expanding, Chen said, testing the limits, seeing how far they could push it. Or they lost control, I countered. This wasn't shut down. It escaped, and they've been containing it ever since. A sound from the corridor. Footsteps, multiple, coordinated, marching. They're coming, Reeves said. He chambered around. How much data do you have? Half, Chen said. I need 2 more minutes. You've got one. Reeves and I moved to the door, looked out. The corridor was full of them, dozens of those figures, walking in formation, all moving in perfect sync, their mouths open, humming. The sound was physical. I could see the air distorting, rippling. When I say go, run, I told Chen. Don't stop. Don't look back. What about you? We're buying you time. The figures stopped, 20 feet away, standing in perfect rows, like soldiers at attention. Then as one they tilted their heads, all the same angle, all staring with those milky eyes. And they sang. Not the lullaby this time. Something else, older, in a language I didn't recognize. But I understood it. On a level deeper than words, it was a hymn, a call, an invitation. My legs moved, walking forward, toward them. I couldn't stop, couldn't control it. The song was in my head, in my muscles, overriding my will. Mercer, Reeves grabbed me, pulled me back. Don't listen. But how do you not listen when the sound is inside you? Chen emerged from the archive, flash drive in hand. I got what I could. We need to. The singing stopped. The figures parted, making a path. And at the end of that path, emerging from the deeper darkness, was something bigger, taller. Its body was an amalgamation of flesh. Dozens of bodies fused together, arms jutting out at random angles, faces pressed into its torso, all of them moving, all of them singing silently. It looked at us. With eyes that weren't eyes, just dark pits, absorbing light. Then it spoke. With a voice made of voices, layered, harmonized, beautiful and terrible. You are heard, you are known, you will join the chorus. Reeves opened fire, full automatic, rounds punched through the amalgamation. Dark fluid sprayed. Chunks of flesh tore away, but it didn't stop. Didn't slow. It opened what might have been a mouth. All the faces on its body opened their mouths in unison and screamed. The sound shattered Chen's atmospheric sampler, cracked the concrete walls. I felt my eardrums rupture. Blood poured hot down my neck. The world went silent except for a high-pitched ringing, but I could still feel the sound, vibrating through my bones, through my organs, shaking me apart from the inside. Thompson collapsed, convulsing, blood pouring from his eyes, his nose, his ears. His body jerked, once, twice, then went still, and slowly. Impossibly, he stood back up, but his eyes were white, his head tilted at that angle. He turned to face us, his mouth opened. That humming came out. Run! I couldn't hear my own voice. Could only feel my throat vibrating. We ran. Chen clutching the flash drive, Reeves dragging Garcia, me firing blind behind us. The corridor twisted, bent. We were running downhill, but also uphill. Gravity kept changing. Left was right. Up was down. More figures emerged from the walls. Literally, stepping out of the concrete as if it were water. Reaching for us. Their fingers brushed my jacket. Cold, burning cold. A junction. 3 corridors. Chen pointed left. We took it. Burst through a door. Slammed it shut. Reeves wedged a chair under the handle. The door immediately began to bulge, hands pressing from the other side, dozens of them. We were in a cafeteria, tables and chairs covered in decades of dust, a kitchen area in back, windows high on the wall showing darkness even though it should still be daylight. Where are we? Chen's voice was muffled, distant. My hearing was coming back slowly. Everything sounded underwater. Garcia was conscious again, pale, sweating. His stump was wrapped but bleeding through. I can't feel my legs, he said. The infection, it's spreading faster. Fight it, I said. Stay with us. Why? Garcia laughed, bitter. We're trapped. We're infected. Webb's dead. Thompson's one of them. This is it, Mercer. This is how we die. The door exploded inward. The chair disintegrated. Figures poured through. Too many to count. The amalgamation ducked through the doorframe, its massive form filling the space, blocking the exit. We backed toward the kitchen. Reeves firing, each shot hitting, each shot doing nothing. The figures absorbed bullets like water. Holes closed up. Damage repaired. They were learning, adapting. The kitchen, Chen shouted. There's a service corridor. We burst through. Industrial kitchen, steel counters, walk-in freezer, and yes, a service door. We scrambled through, into a hallway, service tunnels, pipes running along the ceiling, steam, heat, the mechanical guts of the facility. This way. Reeves had his GPS out, somehow still functional. There's an exit, emergency shaft, 200 meters. We ran. Garcia was slowing us down. His legs weren't working right. I could see the gray spreading up his neck, reaching his jaw. His teeth were grinding together. Not from pain, from something trying to make him sing. Leave me, he said. I'm slowing you down. Not happening. Mercer, look at me. I did. His eyes were starting to film over, white, creeping in from the edges. He had minutes, maybe less. Give me your sidearm, he said. Let me buy you time. I looked at Reeves, at Chen. They both nodded. Garcia was right. He was gone, but he could still choose how he went. I handed him my pistol, 3 magazines. He took position at a junction, braced himself against the wall. Go, he said. I'll hold them here. Garcia, go. We ran. Behind us, I heard him start singing. Not the humming, the national anthem, loud, defiant, human, then gunfire, sustained, controlled, professional, then screaming, but still singing, still human, until he wasn't. The emergency shaft was ahead, rusted ladder leading up, daylight visible at the top, actual daylight, the exit. We climbed. Fast as we could, Chen first, then me, Reeves covering our ascent. Below, figures poured into the tunnel, looking up at us. That amalgamation squeezing through, limbs reaching up, climbing, faster than should be possible. Climb, Reeves shouted. He pulled something from his pack. Explosives. His demo charges. Get clear, 30 seconds. Reeves, no. Somebody has to make sure they don't follow. He was setting charges, wiring them to the tunnel supports. Get that data out. Make sure people know. Make sure they understand what's buried here. Reeves, move. I climbed. Chen was already at the top, pulling herself out. I followed, emerged into open air. Real air. The sun was setting. We were on a hillside above the facility. The forest spread out below us. Behind us, underground, an explosion. Muffled. Then a second. Larger. The ground shook. A plume of dust and debris erupted from the shaft. Reeves had brought down the tunnel, sealed it, with himself inside. Chen and I lay on the ground, breathing, bleeding, dying slowly from the inside, but still human. For now. We need to move, Chen said. Find civilization. Get this data to someone. Who? I asked. Who do we trust? This was a government operation. They knew. They've been covering it up for decades. Then we go public. Media. Internet. Something. They'll erase us. Erase the data. This mission is already gone from the records. Chen pulled out the flash drive, looked at it. Years of research. Proof of everything. Then we hide it, she said. We leave a trail, breadcrumbs, multiple copies, make it impossible to suppress completely. I nodded. It was a plan. A thin one, but it was all we had. We started walking, away from the facility, through the forest. The sun was down now, dark, falling fast, and in the darkness I could hear them, following, patient. They had time. We didn't. We walked for hours. No destination, just away. The forest was different now. Familiar landmarks were gone. The terrain didn't match any map. Chen's GPS showed us moving in circles, even though we walked in straight lines. Space itself was corrupted here, infected. My hearing was coming back fully. That was worse. I could hear things I shouldn't. Whispers in the wind that formed words. Footsteps matching our pace exactly, but meters behind. Always behind. Never catching up, just following. Chen was deteriorating faster. Her skin had a gray tint. Her eyes kept losing focus. She'd stop walking and tilt her head. Listening. Do you hear that? She'd ask. Hear what? The music, it's beautiful. They're singing about home, about rest, about joining them. It's the infection. Fight it. I'm trying. But it's so loud now. Inside my head. Like there's a choir in my skull. We found a stream. Real water. Cold. Clean. We drank. Filled canteens. Splashed our faces. For a moment I felt human again. Then I saw my reflection. My eyes had white specks in them. Starting at the edges. Working inward. How long do we have? I asked. Chen checked her watch, stared at it for a long time. It's been 14 hours since initial exposure, heavy concentration for 6 hours. Based on the research data, we have 12 hours left, maybe 18 if we're lucky. And then, we become like them. The chorus takes over. We'll stop being individuals, start being instruments, parts of a larger song. I looked at the flash drive on her belt. We need to get that data out, even if we don't make it. There's no out, Chen said. This whole area is contaminated. The forest, the soil, the water. Everything within 50 miles is part of the infection vector. Anyone who comes here gets exposed. It's a trap, a lure. That's why the other teams didn't report back. They couldn't. By the time they understood what was happening, they were already part of it. So we're just going to die here? We're going to stop being here. There's a difference. A sound. Distant. Mechanical. An engine. Vehicle. We looked at each other. Hope. Dangerous hope. We ran toward the sound. Broke through treeline. Found a logging road. And there, a truck. Old pickup. Ranger service. Engine running. Driver's door open. But no driver. It's bait, Chen said. I know. We get in that truck, they'll follow us. Spread the contamination. I know. But we're getting in anyway. Yes. We climbed in. I took the wheel. The keys were in the ignition. Gas tank full. Too convenient. Too perfect. But we were out of choices. I put it in gear. Started driving. The road was clear at first. Then figures appeared, standing at the edges, watching. Not interfering, just watching, counting, marking, remembering our faces. "They're letting us leave," Chen said. "No, they're following us, using us as vectors. We leave, we spread it further. Then we don't leave. We end this here." I looked at her. She pulled out her field knife, looked at it, then at me. "One of us has to survive long enough to destroy the data, make sure they can't recover it. The other keeps driving, leads them away." "Chen, I'm further along. You can see it. I have less time. So I drive. You make sure the data is destroyed. Then yourself. Clean. Final. There has to be another way. There isn't." She was right. I knew she was right. We switched positions. She took the wheel. I held the flash drive. One small piece of plastic, containing proof of everything. Decades of research, government conspiracy, human experimentation, and now it had to be destroyed. "Where are you going?" I asked. "Back," Chen said. "To the facility. I'm going to drive straight into that aperture, close it the only way I can, from the inside. That won't work. It's not physical. No. But it responds to resonance, to vibration. The research said so. Kinetic impact from a vehicle traveling at high speed might disrupt the frequency, collapse it. At least temporarily. Might? It's better than nothing." She was accelerating now, heading back the way we came. The figures were running alongside the truck, keeping pace, dozens of them, then hundreds, all singing, that hymn, that call. The truck's frame was vibrating, harmonizing. "Jump," Chen said. "Now." I looked at her. Her eyes were almost fully white, her skin gray, veins dark beneath the surface. She was smiling, but it wasn't her smile. It was too wide, too many teeth. "Chen?" "Still me," she said. "Mostly, but not for long, so jump, before I'm not me anymore," and I stopped the truck. I opened the door, wind rushing, ground blurring past, 40 miles per hour, 50, 60. This was going to hurt. "Thank you," I said. "Tell them," she replied. "Tell them what happened here. Tell them we tried." I jumped, hit the ground, rolled. Bones cracked, skin tore, but I was alive. Watched the truck accelerate. Chen hunched over the wheel, figures running behind, an army of the transformed, the amalgamation loping along, all heading back to the facility. The truck hit the facility entrance at 70 miles per hour, crashed through, disappeared inside, then light, bright, white, searing, a sound like reality tearing. The ground heaved, trees bent away from the shockwave. The hilltop where the facility stood collapsed inward. A sinkhole opening, swallowing everything. Then silence, complete, total. The humming was gone. The singing stopped. The figures in the forest dropped, all at once. Like puppets with cut strings, I lay there, bleeding, broken, still infected, but the chorus was quiet. I don't know how long I lay there. Minutes, hours. The sky cycled through colors. The sun moved, but I couldn't track it. Time felt broken, shattersty like glass, each second a fragment cutting into the next. When I finally stood, the forest was different. Normal. Birds singing, wind rustling leaves, insects humming, normal insect sounds. The contamination was gone, or dormant, or localized. I couldn't tell. The flash drive was still in my hand, gripped so tight my fingers were white, bloodless. I looked at it. Terabytes of data, proof, evidence, everything anyone would need to understand what happened here. And Chen had told me to destroy it. I walked. No direction, just movement. My body was shutting down. I could feel it. The infection was too advanced. Chen had bought time, maybe disrupted the chorus enough to slow it, but not stop it. The gray was spreading up my arms, my legs. My vision kept blurring. And I could hear whispers, faint, like echoes of that hymn. They were still there, just quieter. I found a road, real paved road, followed it, hoping for traffic, for people, for rescue. But knowing I couldn't let anyone find me like this, I was contaminated. If I was recovered, if I was taken to a hospital, studied, it might start again, spread again. So I walked away from the road, into the woods on the other side, found a clearing, sat down against a tree, and took out my sidearm. 1 round left, saved it for this, for when the infection got too far, when I stopped being me. But first, the data. I pulled out my lighter, flicked it. Flame, real, warm, human technology, something from the normal world. I held the flash drive over it. Just needed to melt the circuits, destroy the information. Make sure Operation Black Timber stayed buried. My hand wouldn't move, wouldn't do it. Some part of me, the part that was still me, couldn't destroy the proof. Couldn't let everyone who died here be forgotten. Webb, Garcia, Reeves, Thompson, Chen, and all the others before us. The researchers, the test subjects, the victims. They deserved to be remembered. The truth deserved to survive. So I made a choice. Maybe the wrong one, maybe the right one. I don't know anymore. I found a hollow in the tree, old woodpecker hole, deep. I wrapped the flash drive in plastic from my pack, sealed it, placed it inside, covered it with moss, marked the tree, GPS coordinates, memorized, and then I walked away, found a cabin, abandoned, old hunting shelter, supplies inside, canned food, water, first aid kit, and a radio, old CB setup, still functional. I tried calling for help, got static, tried different frequencies, more static. Then a voice, male, official sounding, unidentified caller. This is a restricted frequency. Identify yourself. This is Federal Operative Evan Mercer, a code name Black Timber. I need emergency extraction, multiple casualties, mission compromised. Silence. Long silence. Then, negative. No operation by that designation is on record. Identify yourself properly, or clear this channel. I'm telling you the truth. October 2002, Cascade, Siskiyou Region, Covert Task Force. We were sent to investigate. Sir, you need to stop. There is no operation matching that description. If you're experiencing a medical or psychological emergency, I can route you to local services. Listen to me. There's a buried facility, biological contamination. It's still active. You need to cordon the area, evacuate nearby towns. This is a national security threat. Sir, the radio cut out. Dead. I tried to restart it. Nothing. They'd killed the signal remotely. Didn't want me talking. Didn't want the information spreading. I was on my own. Erased. Already deleted from official records. They'd done it fast. Within hours. That meant they were monitoring. Knew the mission had failed. And rather than rescue us, they'd decided to contain the problem by burying it. Again. The infection was accelerating. I could feel myself slipping. Hours left. Maybe minutes. My reflection in a cracked mirror showed eyes almost fully white. Skin gray. Veins black. I looked like them. Like the figures in the forest. But I wasn't singing. Not yet. Still silent. Still me. Barely. I wrote everything down. Everything I could remember. Names, dates, locations, details about the facility, the research, the chorus, the aperture, all of it, crammed onto paper, messy handwriting, getting worse as the infection progressed, some words barely legible. And at the end, I wrote instructions, where to find the flash drive, GPS coordinates, description of the tree, the hollow, how to access the data, who to trust, or rather, who not to trust. Government agencies were compromised. This had to go public. Multiple sources, media, internet, everywhere at once. I sealed the pages in plastic, put them in a lockbox I found in the cabin, and I left it somewhere it would be found, eventually. Hidden, but not buried. Placed where searchers or hikers or anyone who came through would see it. Bright red box on a trail marker post. Then I walked back into the forest, deep. Far from any roads or trails, found a ravine, steep, rocky, bottom filled with deadfall and shadows. I stood at the edge, gun in hand, one round, quick, clean. End it before I'm not me anymore, before I become an instrument, a part of the chorus. But I hesitated. Some survival instinct, some stupid human hope that maybe I was wrong, maybe I'd beat it, maybe rescue would come. That's when I heard it, faint, distant, but clear, singing, the hymn, multiple voices, coming closer. They were still here, still active. Chen hadn't destroyed them, just scattered them, and they were reforming, regrouping, coming for me, the last member of Operation Black Timber, the last loose end. I turned to face them, not running anymore, too tired, too far gone. The singing grew louder, closer, and then they emerged from the trees, dozens of them, walking in formation, perfect lines, their white eyes gleaming in the fading light. But they stopped, 20 feet away, formed a circle around me, waiting, and slowly they parted, making a path, and down that path came something new. It looked like Chen wore her face, her uniform, but wrong, too perfect, too symmetrical, no flaws, no scars, an idealized version, a mock-up, and when it spoke, it had her voice, but layered, multiple Chens speaking simultaneously, harmonized. Mercer, you're the last, the only one still resisting. I'm not joining you. You don't have a choice. The spores are in your blood, your brain. You're already one of us. You're just fighting the inevitable. Then I'll fight until I can't. The Chen thing tilted its head. Curious. Why? What's the point? You're in pain, dying. We're offering peace, unity, purpose. The chorus is eternal, beautiful. You'll never be alone, never afraid, never suffering. Because I'm human, and humans suffer. That's what makes us real. Humanity is chaos, discord. We are harmony. Harmony is just another word for control. It smiled. Too many teeth. You left the data. Hidden, but recoverable. Do you really think that was wise? Do you think exposing this will stop it? The chorus has existed for millennia. Long before your government found us. Long before this facility. We've been here all along. In sound, in vibration, in the spaces between frequencies. Your species discovered us, opened a door, but the door was always there, waiting. Then why hide? Why use the government as a cover? Because humanity isn't ready. Not yet. You're discordant, conflicted, but you're learning, slowly, generation by generation. You're beginning to harmonize. Technology, communication, global networks. You're building the infrastructure for us, creating the means for the chorus to spread. And when you're ready, when enough of you are singing, we won't need to hide anymore. That's decades away, centuries maybe. We're patient, and we're everywhere, every city, every town, wherever there's sound, we exist, waiting, growing, converting. Operation Black Timber was just one note, one small addition to the symphony. I looked at the figures surrounding me, dozens of faces, all blank, all lost, people who'd been like me once, federal agents, researchers, hikers, victims, now just instruments. I won't let you win, I said. You already have. The Chen thing stepped closer. You left the data intact, thinking someone would expose the truth. But the truth will only create fear, and fear will create curiosity, and curiosity will bring more people here, more exposure, more conversion. You didn't leave evidence, Mercer. You left bait. The words hit me. Hard. True. I'd doomed others by trying to warn them. The data would lead people back here, to this forest, to the facility, to the aperture. Even collapsed, it was still active, still leaking, and I'd created a roadmap directly to it. "No," I said. "No, You tried to be a hero, but you became our herald instead. Thank you." The singing rose, all the figures. One voice. I could feel it in my chest, come in my skull. My mouth opened. Not my choice, not my will. And sound came out. The humming, the harmony. I was singing. I raised the gun, pressed it against my temple. One round. End it now before I'm completely gone. My finger tightened on the trigger. The Chen thing moved. Faster than possible, grabbed my wrist, twisted. The gun fell. "You don't get to escape. You're ours now." My voice, still singing, but inside, I was screaming, fighting, clawing against the chorus. Some small part of me still human, still aware, trapped in my own body, watching myself transform, become them. And then I heard something else, underneath the hymn, a different sound, discordant, breaking the harmony, helicopter rotors, distant but approaching, fast. The figures looked up, the singing faltered, confused. The Chen thing released me, turned toward the sound, over the tree line, emerging from the sunset, military helicopters, 3 of them, black, unmarked. They circled the area, and then they opened fire, not on me, on the forest, incendiary rounds. The trees erupted in flames, fire spreading, fast, consuming. The figures scattered, running. The Chen thing screamed, a sound that tore through the harmony, pure rage. One helicopter descended, soldiers fast roping down, full hazmat gear, weapons raised. They surrounded me, grabbed me, zip-tied my hands, injected something in my neck, cold spreading through my veins. I tried to speak, to warn them, but my voice was gone. Only the humming remained. They dragged me to the helicopter, threw me inside. We lifted off. Below, the forest was burning, consuming everything, the facility, the aperture, the contamination, all of it. Controlled burn, erasing the evidence, but not soon enough, not completely. The chorus had spread. I'd helped it spread, and these soldiers, they were infected now too, just from proximity, just from hearing. They didn't know it yet, but in hours, maybe days, they'd start singing too. We flew for hours, landed at a facility I didn't recognize, underground, sterile. I was taken to a cell, white walls, soundproof, completely silent. They kept me there, studied me, watched me transform, took samples, ran tests, and slowly I stopped being Evan Mercer, stopped being anyone, just became part of the chorus. Another voice, another instrument, but something remained, some fragment, deep inside, still aware, still watching, and that fragment is speaking to you now, through the static, through the years, through the layers of harmony that have consumed me. This isn't a warning. It's too late for that. This is a confession, a testimony from someone who doesn't exist anymore. Operation Black Timber failed, but not the way you think. It didn't fail because we died. It failed because we succeeded. We found the truth, and the truth found others. That flash drive I hid, someone found it, just like the Chen thing said they would, and they came looking, and they heard, and they sang, and now the chorus is spreading. Through research, through investigation, through curiosity, every documentary, every podcast, every video analyzing what happened. They're all vectors, all spreading the frequency, the sound, the infection. You're listening right now. Maybe you've been listening for minutes, maybe hours, however long this video has been playing. And the whole time, embedded in the audio, beneath the words, is that frequency, the one that opens the door, the one that lets the chorus in. Can you hear it? That low hum, almost below perception. but it's there, in every word. Every sentence, growing, resonating, finding the spaces in your mind, making room. Don't try to stop it. You can't. You're already singing. You just don't realize it yet. I'm sorry. I tried to warn you. But the truth is, there is no warning. There's only the song. And the song is everywhere, in every sound, every frequency. Waiting, patient, eternal. Welcome to the chorus. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. Share your stories in the comments. And remember, some frequencies once heard can never be unheard. Sleep well.